How about this? EJ Obiena qualifying for the 2024 Paris Olympics with still a year to spare. Obiena cleared the 5.82-meter Olympic qualifying standard while copying a silver medal at that at the Diamond League BAUHAUS-galan in Stockholm, Sweden, Monday morning. Let's go all out on this particular story with none other than that guy right there. My friend, Asia's best pole vaulter, EJ Obiena, joining us via Zoom. Hey, brother, live from, I hope I say this right, EJ, Rouen, France. Bonjour from Manila, EJ.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Congratulations to you. Ang galing mo, EJ. Okay, bago natin pag-usapan ito, I remember in 2021, right after the Tokyo Olympics. And remember, we were still talking right after that phone call. You told me that you were unsure if you are even going to vie for the Paris Olympics. Fast forward, eto na tayo, 2023. Ikaw yung una na naman na nag-qualify for the Paris Olympics. Take us through your journey, EJ, and you'll be back in the Olympics. Another hurrah. Pumasok na ba? Has it sunk in? And let's go. Here we go. With a year to go, you're already qualified for Paris.
Ooh, I don't think we have enough time to go through everything, but long story short, it's not been, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of question mark, a lot of, understanding what I actually want to do and how deep do I love the sport and how much do I actually believe in myself. So I think everything kind of pointed me in the right direction and actually aim for it. Of course, what played a big role here is, believing that I could actually win and being able to do that and knowing that I can represent the country in such a level and actually in a good way. And it wasn't a too difficult or too complicated of a decision.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got the job done in your first competition in the Olympic qualification period. Gaano ka-importante ito para sa'yo to get that qualification process out of the way this early? At least, at least, as I said, you have time. Diba na, okay, I'm already in. Now, let's focus our attention to doing better in Paris.
Oh, it simplifies a lot of things. I can now plan ahead and look a little bit forward on what are the things that we actually want to do and not stress about, okay, do we actually qualify? Do we keep working hard and hit all these competitions? So having it out of the way, it's one less thing to worry about. And it's one step putting myself into the roster of the start list for Paris I think it's a good achievement.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't something that I was worried about per se, but of course it was something that's not given.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also said in a post, and I quote, you made some rookie mistakes sa Sweden. Can you tell us what were those mistakes that you were pertaining to as you give me that smirk, that laugh, that smile?
So there are rules and
Okay.
there are things that that are within the bound of rules what you could have done. When the bar went up to 95, I took 3 jumps in less than 6 minutes. And I think that's not normal. First of all, normally we get a little bit more recovery, but it was such a fast pace because there's no other event going on. It was just us and it was just me and Mondo jumping. So
Yeah.
it was the cycle speed of every vault to the other is pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done stuff, let's just say. I could have done things that within the rules that could have given me ample amount of time. And I think it just gave me, it just showed me that I still am a student of the game. I still am, as much as I consider myself very experienced in these kind of competition. I'm still a student. I make mistakes and I get flustered. And those are, I would say, rookie mistakes that I did and learned from it.
Yeah, that's a good mindset. We also hear that from, the late, great Kobe Bryant. He said, he was a student of the game. The greats in other sports say that as well. Well, your mentor, James Lafferty, was in Sweden to watch you personally. How special was that for you, qualifying for the Olympics with Jim Lafferty on the sidelines?
It was I think as close as a home crowd that I could get. I had 3 people coming in from Dubai. I have a few people flying from Latvia, good friends of mine, a few people. I think I at least got at least 10 people in the stands that literally just came there to watch me. It was what can I say? It was such an amazing experience, and I'm happy that I was able to show something, but I think I could have definitely done better. And it's a bit unfortunate. I wanted to jump higher for sure. It was something that I wanted to do, and
Yeah.
I didn't end competition on a good note, I would say. I was a little bit bummed
Yeah.
out after it.
Yeah.
But having them there, having, people literally scream my name before I jump,
Yeah.
and just the whole crowd as well being
Yeah.
with us and clapping, it was an amazing experience. The stadium was literally shaking from all the claps and the people and just cheering. It was wild.
Well, there are a lot of Filipinos as well. Well, in different parts of the world, but yeah, in Sweden, rooting for you. Of course, you know that. Well, let's talk about Arman Mondo Duplantis, also qualified for the Olympics. Uh, you're part of that club already, right? And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Did you get a chance to talk? Or because you're good friends with Mondo. Did you get to talk to
Yeah.
Mondo during the competition, before, after? Did you have a chat with Mondo?
Yeah, I mean, we were chatting around. So there's a lot of talks going on before the meet starts because it was raining hard.
Okay.
And they were like joking around. They're like, "Hey, EJ, don't sneak a jump." It was like if everybody don't jump, they can't start the competition. And I think it was a really great move for him because we got a better weather later part of the evening.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to risk it. I says it is a competition. It's not the Olympics. It's not something that you would want to, bet your life on and
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
try to risk a jump during heavy rain. So it was funny. It was talking, and all of us were just like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Are we gonna be able to jump? And to be honest, like it was such a bizarre situation. But can you imagine the whole Diamond League competitions it was done. The crowd stayed and everybody moved where we were.
Wow.
How can you not? And that in itself just Mondo is such a big star in his country that people do come and watch, and like thousands of people were waiting for him to take some jumps. And I'm just happy to take some of that energy. And I mean, we had a bunch of laugh, and of course, when I knew I jumped 82, the next progression was actually 590. I wanted to, make him jump a little bit, give a little bit of pressure, challenge him a little bit as much as I can. So I went, hey Mondo, I'm skipping 90, I'm going 95. So those kind of moves, it gives a little bit. It's part of the game. It's tactic wise and all of that, but unfortunately, it didn't play in my way. But
Yeah.
Mondo's um, it's arguably the best I've ever done it, and I'm just trying to keep knocking on that door, and hopefully
Yep.
one day it comes.
May isahan mo din yun. I believe so. Malay mo sa package na yun. You go. Stay where you are, brother. Let's continue this conversation with Asia's best pole vaulter, EJ Obiena, who's just qualified to the Paris Olympics in 2024. And our conversation will continue after this quick timeout. You're watching Sports Desk only here on CNN Philippines, where we go all out for the day's top sports stories. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Desk only here on CNN Philippines. Asia's best pole vaulter and Paris Olympics qualifier, EJ Obiena, still here joining us on the show tonight. Brother, let's pick up our conversation. As I mentioned, you're already officially qualified to Paris in 2024. You've also joined, what a year it has been for you, man. You have joined that elite 6-meter club that we talked about in our last conversation, last time you guested on this show. What's next on EJ Obiena's agenda more than a year before the Olympic Games?
I have 3 major championships this year, and I'm hoping to take part on the World Indoors that I missed last year, 2021. So I hope
I
I'll
remember.
be able to perform best on those championship and be able to compete at the highest level going forward. We have the Asian Championship, then we have the World Championship in August, then we have Asian Games in September. So it's a busy year still, and there's still a lot of things for me to work on and be able to be more consistent. It's a lot of work. I mean, I think I've shown the potential that I could do, but I need to be able to do it as often as I can.
Well, just like in the previous Olympics, you were also the first Filipino to qualify for the Summer Games because of yung scheduling of the qualifiers also. And para yun na, at least tapos na, di ba? Do you think, you qualifying and setting the pace again, how will that set the pace for other Filipino athletes also trying to make it to the Olympics? Has any of yung mga nakasama mo sa Tokyo messaged you already? Sina Heidi, sina Kaloy, anybody, Yumir, anybody messaged you already?
Oh, Kaloy was the first one. He congratulated me already, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be coming. And it's a lot of people. I'm pretty sure they're hungry, and it's just so happened that the series of the way athletics qualifies a little bit earlier. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna be just rolling, and there's gonna be a lot of Filipinos going to Paris. I hope we send our biggest delegates to this coming Olympics, and I don't think it's impossible, and hopefully by the end of 2024 we'll have some hardware to bring back home.
What do you want to say to not just your friends and the mga kasama mo na co-Olympians in Tokyo, but for those also wanting to qualify for the first time? Because this will be your second, and you've been there qualifying for the first time. For all the Filipino athletes who still are vying for that spot to represent Team Philippines in the Paris Olympics, what do you want to tell them, Jay?
When you qualify, it's the sweetest thing out there, and you'll never forget your first. Of course, the second one is a little bit more different, but it's such an amazing experience, and it's something that to take pride off. And if you're gunning for it, go for it all the way. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, you did everything that you could. No regrets. It might not just be meant to be, but as an athlete, we know that there's a lot of things that we can only control. So just do your best and keep aiming for that, and hopefully we'll see each other in Paris and be able to wave that flag.
Well, ngayon nga na-qualified ka na for the Olympics. I know there's no such thing as being complacent for athletes, especially for elite athletes as yourself, one of the best in the world. But, you've already qualified for the Olympics. So how are you going to approach the next competitions? You did mention Asian Games, diba? So September in China, and the other competitions pa that you will be. Are you still like out of 100%? Diba, like pag race, nakakwalify ka na sa Olympics, so hahataw ka pa ba? Will you still go all out for the other competitions? Or, kasi also you're risking of, knock on wood, injury.
Well, that's the difference. I think a lot of athletes approach the game differently. I approach it in a way that I want to win. So going in Stockholm, my goal was not to qualify for Olympics. It just so happened that the bar was set in Olympic standard. I need to get over it one way or another. And my approach to the game is I want to win. And in our sport, the greats are remembered in championships, in the major competitions, and I want to collect as much medals as I can in those. And I think that's what would solidify my status as probably one of the best who have ever done the sport. And the only way for me to do that is keep winning, keep jumping high, and keep performing at my best.
Yeah.
And strike while the iron is hot. And I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of things I could work on. And on the replay right now, you guys can see I did jump 82, but the real height was 596. So I could have jumped the 95, but obviously I was not able to do it. So there's a lot of things that I still need to work on, and I'm just gonna keep doing what I do and keep working on the things that we need to do. And my coach is far from satisfied in the way I've been performing, and I'm not happy in the way I jumped in Stockholm. I'm not sad about it, but it was not like something that I'm very happy about. So there's still a lot of things that I need to do, and I don't have, as much as people say I do have time, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Like I don't see that there's a lot of time.
Yeah. And of course, you've already, kumbaga natalon mo na nga yung 6-meter mark. Part of the 6-meter elite ka na nga with the best of the best. 1 year pang Olympics, paulit-ulit nating sinasabi yan. Hindi ka nga happy sa 5.82. Sabi mo, kaya mo naman yung 5.95, nag-6 ka na nga eh. In Tokyo, nag-5.70 ka. Good for 11th. How confident are you na you can do better, way better than that? Or even better than the 6, or at least do the 6 dito pagdating sa Paris?
It's hard. It's hard for me to say, okay, I'm going to be confident. I don't want to be, how do you say, not saying how I feel. Of course, to build that confidence, I have, as you said, I have now 14 months to make sure that I'm at my best on that day. And that's all I can do. Will I be confident moving there if I do everything correctly, if things go my way, nothing of the unexpected is happening? I would be very confident that I would produce something better than what I've shown in Tokyo, because that's the only reason I stick around, not to do worse. That's not the goal. That's not what I've been working on, and that's not what I would want to be the outcome of Paris. And just moving forward, I think confidence is not the word, but I would probably be dedicated to make sure that I'm as confident as I can be come that day.
Well, I'm I don't want to say bet kasi bawal yun, but I'm sure mas mataas yung 5.70 meters mo pagdating ng Paris. Sure ako dyan. You're EJ Obiena. Thank you again for joining us, brother. Always a pleasure catching up with you. Congratulations. Keep on going, brother. We'll talk to you again soon for sure. Thank you. That was Asia's best pole vaulter, EJ Obiena, clearing 5.82 meters in Stockholm, Sweden to earn that spot at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Merci, EJ.